I like being with myself for real. I don't like really being around people because people be messing your vibe up. I love being with myself. Put my phone on, do not disturb, like ain't answering it. I ain't really no person that like being around people too much.
All right, real talk. That is absolutely okay. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tapping in to the Warrior Metaphysic. So, today we're going to be talking about good old fashioned solitude. Man, when I tell you about solitude, for me, it's like I need consistent periods of solitude on a regular basis. It's like the way I recharge my battery. Like, I have to have solitude just to be able to operate okay in the world on a daily basis. So hit that like button if you agree. Hit that like button if that's you too. Well, we're gonna dive right on into this today. Let's go.
You must master the ability to be alone and handle solitude. Only then will you be ready to have any sort of relationship with anyone, including yourself.
The idea of being alone can seem daunting, even frightening. Yet what if I told you the true secret of what polymaths and geniuses of the past did? How to become one with yourself and create your ideas into reality. This is how to grow to be truly great. Picture a vast expanse of desert, stretching out as far as the eye can see. In this barren landscape, there is a stillness, a quietude that envelops everything in its embrace. It is here, in the heart of solitude, that one can find solace, peace, and a deeper connection to the divine.
People who find comfort in solitude often hold the deepest capacity for connection, not because they avoid others, but because experience has taught them to be selective with their presence. It's not a fear of closeness, it's a quiet wisdom that true connection requires more than just proximity. It looks like skipping social gatherings, not from fear, but from emotional fatigue. It's feeling more connected reading alone than talking in a crowded room. It's being the one who listens deeply, but rarely feels heard. It's knowing how to hold space for others while struggling to trust that anyone can hold space back. These are the people who feel most invisible when surrounded, and most like themselves when alone. So why is it bad? Well, when someone learns to thrive in solitude, it's rarely because they were always introverted. It's often because connection was once inconsistent, shallow, or exhausting. Over time, the emotional cost of being misunderstood begins to outweigh the benefit of being included. So, they stop chasing closeness. They begin to retreat, not because they don't care, but because they've been in rooms where presence meant performance, not peace. Healing doesn't mean forcing extroversion. It means building relationships that feel like exhale, where connection is mutual, not performative. It means allowing solitude to be a sanctuary, not a shield. Over time, these individuals begin to unlearn the idea that self-protection means isolation. They start seeking out spaces where authenticity is safe, where silence isn't awkward, and where presence doesn't come at the cost of peace. And remember, the ones who guard their presence often carry a history of giving it too freely.
And to that earlier video, like when they were talking about being in spaces where you're just kind of performing when you're in the room, that can be so draining. Like, have you ever experienced that? Like, you're in an environment that you know you'd rather not be in it, and it may not be because of the people. It might just be because that's not what you'd rather be doing right now. Or maybe you're somewhere where you just have to be there, you know, at like a work function, or some people invited you out, but you didn't really want to disappoint them by stay at home, so you go anyway. Or sometimes you just, have to be around people that really don't light your fire. I'll put it like that. And those times can be so draining. And I think that's what makes solitude like even more important, even more valuable. And then there's a difference between solitude and being alone. we'll talk more about that too as we go. Let's keep moving.
Hang out with?
Hang out with myself.
Really?
I'm alone. I don't like to hang out with nobody. You don't tell on yourself. You don't talk on yourself.
I've never known you to hang out with a bunch of
I don't
people.
hang out with nobody but me. What I do is my business. What I do and who I do.
It's your business.
It's my business. You will never see me hang out with guys. I talk with them and all that stuff,
But never hang out.
I don't hang out with them.
Wow, and you never felt like you were missing like a brotherhood?
No, I'm my everything. I'm my daddy.
What about when you needed advice for life? Like you never felt like you needed another man to go to and be like, man, advice. You never felt like, sometimes men feel like they got to go to another man to get advice about your marriage or advice about life.
If I had to go to another man to get advice about my wife, I'd be hitting on his wife probably. I'd be trying to get her. I don't need no advice.
You'll never be free until you realize this. It was never about what they think. It was always about whether you listen to yourself. We spend so much of life chasing approval, fitting into shapes that were never ours, walking paths paved by other people's expectations. But have you noticed? The more you chase what pleases them, the further you drift from what fulfills you. The universe gave you a compass, not in your pocket, but in your chest. Your intuition is the echo of the cosmos whispering through you. And yet, how often do we trust our fear more than we trust that quiet knowing? Do not fear walking alone. Do not fear growing alone. Because to stand in your own light is to remember the truth. Those who are meant for your journey will find you as you will find them.
The biggest parts of my healing was the period of time where I just didn't want anything. I didn't want anything at all. I didn't want anyone. I didn't want anyone to show up, to call me, to rescue me, to text me, to go out, to see me. I didn't want anything at all. No noise, no sound, no distraction. I simply wanted to be alone. Full stop.
Sometimes that's what you need, man. Like sometimes nothing fills you up, rather other than just being in that space of solitude. And going back to the older gentleman that we just watched, I always appreciate being able to be alone in my own company. Like there is such a power, there's such a liberation in just being able to be in your own company and be entertained and be fulfilled and not have to feel like you need to be around other people just to be okay. Like I actually feel sorry for people who can't be alone, because just because you're alone doesn't mean you're lonely. And there's value in the solitude. And there's also different levels of solitude. Like solitude, you can look at it from a physical perspective. Hey, I'm in a room by myself, or I'm at home alone. That's great. We all need those times. But what are we doing? Are we often like we're alone looking at TV? We're alone. Are we alone engaged in our hobby or whatever, what have you? And those can be healthy, experiences of being alone and healthy uses of spending time with yourself. But then there's that deeper level, like when is the last time you were alone and the TV was off, the computer was off, the phone was off. And you don't necessarily have to be meditating. You can just be sitting, just being in your own company. And then there's, of course, that deeper part about, that involves meditation or some kind of spiritual work or some kind of processing that you're doing, whatever the reason. But just pay attention to those different spaces, and they're all okay. And I think they're all necessary at various times. So like I said, man, I'm blessed to be in good company with myself. I just put it like that. I hope you are too.
You say you like being alone, that you prefer solitude, but we both know that's not entirely true. The reality is, when you meet someone who prefers being alone, it's not because they love solitude, it's because they've tried to fit into the world, and people have let them down. Solitude isn't about the number of people around you. Often, people intrude on your solitude without providing genuine companionship. They take up space, they fill the air with noise, but they don't offer the connection you seek. Maybe That's why you retreat into solitude. It's a sanctuary, a place where you can be yourself without fear of disappointment. It's where you find peace, away from the chaos of unmet expectations and broken promises. You see, solitude isn't about being antisocial. It's about protecting your heart and mind from further hurt. It's about finding comfort in your own company, where you can think, reflect, and recharge. And in those quiet moments, you realize that solitude is not loneliness. It's a choice to value your inner peace above the superficial connections that drain you.
I'd rather be bored than go have fun for no reason. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm a homebody. Yeah, I'm a homebody. I don't go nowhere. I don't even go to other people's house. I'm at home, bro. I don't go nowhere.
Everybody come to you.
I'm under my rock. I'm under my rock. Everybody don't come to me because I don't like talking to people but family. So if you know where I stay, if you know where you family.
If you notice, the most powerful people are the ones that stay to themselves. Yeah, they probably have a couple of friends or whatever, family members they hang out with, but for the most part, they be by themselves. They be the most in tune, the most intellectual, because they don't have no distractions that's always coming around them, swaying their energy. They really know who they are, and they know what they want out of life. So when people come around them trying to get them to do things that don't align with them, they're not going to go for it. They stand firm in what they believe in. These are the type of people you actually want to be friends with. But from this society, people will look at those type of people as weird because they don't hang around a group of people. Most people think that the lion is the most powerful cat, but it's really the tiger. And what are tigers known for? Solitude. They hunt alone, and they're the strongest amongst all the cats. Spiritual Miller.
Emotionally healthy people often have fewer friends. They're not lonely, just selective, with strong boundaries. They're content in their own company. And just like you once mistook lust for love, you've mistaken being alone for being lonely. Solitude isn't emptiness. It's where growth begins. A quiet room can be the loudest mirror. When the noise of the world finally fades, you start to hear yourself. In that silence, you'll face the parts of you that get lost in the noise of constant companionship. And only then will you understand why you sometimes feel lonely, even in a crowded room. If this spoke to something inside you, you're not alone. Follow for more truth you can feel.
Hey, solitude is one of the greatest gifts that you can ask for, because when you're in solitude, you really get to clear things out. When it comes to your mental chatter, when it comes to your emotions, you really have the ability to take accountability for whatever it is that you need to face. And a lot of people try to run away from that, but no, that is where the power lies. If you can face your own shadow, you can face your own demons, and figure out how to make them your allies, you are unstoppable. The only way anybody can really take you down is to take advantage of your weaknesses. But if you already have that awareness of your weaknesses, or you've already conquered your own weaknesses, you only evolve that much more. Also, when you're in solitude, you're not distracted by the chaos of other people in the world, and then you can really focus on what matters to you, whether you want to hit the gym or whether you want to focus on building your business. Whatever it is, this is your time to shine. So I say embrace gratitude on a daily basis and let it evolve you.
People going to see it on you, they about, oh,
Shout out to Classic Finesse. That's classic with a K for that nugget. Real talk.
Who does that dude? I like him. I'm attracted to him because he's doing his own thing. He's thinking for himself. He has a high degree of intellect. Guys, they can see that. They can sense that, guys. People can sense when you have a high degree of intellect. They can sense when you just not trying to fit in with the crowd. And you ain't got to say nothing, bro. That's the crazy part. You don't have to say nothing. Your presence is going to make you stand out. That's how it be when you in that solitude. When you in them four walls by yourself, just thinking, how can you become better? How can I elevate? How can I make progress in life? This is why a lot of times people see me in the gym, they be like, yo, how you lifting these type of weights, bro? How you do it? Because I just be in solitude. I don't try to go mingle with crowds. I don't try to go out trying to fit in with people. I stand alone, bro. I handle things on my own. I practice being in solitude, trying to elevate. I love being alone. I embrace it. I just lock in on me and my goals.
Real.
What if God isolated you just to elevate you? Everyone's so afraid of being alone. For Or maybe your solitude is not punishment, it's preparation. We treat silence like it's actually a curse. Or maybe it's the exact space God uses to speak the loudest. So you're not in isolation, you're in alignment. And yes, this season might feel like a loss to you. Maybe a person walked out, maybe the opportunity dried up. Maybe you woke up one day and didn't even recognize the life that you're in. But hear me when I tell you this, God is not subtracting to hurt you. He's subtracting to streamline your calling. Not everyone and not everything is meant to go to that next level with you. Some of that might have been holding you back, and I get it. It hurts. But peace doesn't mean absence of people. It means presence of purpose. And that silence or that solitude that you're experiencing, you're finally hearing what your soul sounds like without all the noise and distraction. So don't fight to fill the space. Don't run back to what God removed. Embrace the solitude. There's peace in the pause. Because what's next requires a new, unshakable version of you. Listen, if you're in that quiet season right now, don't fight it. Lean in. Make sure to comment the words next level if these words were meant to reach you. And listen, if they did reach you and they did help you in some way, please do me a favor. Share this message, because if you needed it, somebody else does as well. I love y'all. Have an amazing day. God bless.
Shout out to Recovery Mike for that one.
The only problem with solitude is that once you taste its unmatched peace, you crave it endlessly. It's like solitude spoils you for everything else, and you find yourself yearning to be alone again.
Paul Tillich talks about the difference between being alone and being in solitude. There are two words in the English language for being alone. One is being lonely and one is being in solitude. We never use the word solitude. And solitude is the strength of being alone. Solitude is the joy of being alone. Solitude is the power that comes with being alone.
Introverted does not mean antisocial. It just means that you're a person who enjoys solitude and enjoys recharging alone. You may not go to the poker game. You may not go to the party that you're invited to. It's not because you don't like them. It's just because when you go, you get drained, or when you go, maybe you feel like, I just don't feel like going. It's not about not liking them or not wanting to be around people. I love everybody. It's all love. It's just that when it's time to wind down, I'm very comfortable being alone.
I was just saying that, y'all.
Silence, you can hear yourself. In solitude, you can see yourself. And in stillness, you can feel yourself. And connect to those things. Get outside, walk in nature, be in the silence of the earth. That silence, no noise, no music, no man-made things. So I used to walk in the mornings, and in that silent time, me and God, he used to download the biggest ideas, the biggest plans for me. And in those moments, I could actually hear. I wasn't talking, I wasn't speaking, I wasn't asking for anything. I wasn't even saying thank you for anything. I was just silent and obedient to the silence. I'm just gonna lay here and I'm just gonna open up and I'm gonna hear. And in that silence, you can start to tap into your body. You might actually feel that your knee is hurting. You might actually feel that your lower back has really been giving you pain. You might actually feel that you're exhausted. And when we're going, we have no time to tap into our bodies to actually say, am I tired? Am I sick? Let me take care of myself.
I love that message. And if you can't remember the last time you've been in true, like serious, intentional solitude, you might want to check that. that can absolutely be a problem because we miss so much. And I love how she pointed out how your body talks to you, the aches and pains that we don't know that we have because we're on the run all the time. Not taking the time to sit and check in with your physical self. That's what solitude allows you to do too. So if you've been running around too much lately, haven't taken that time out for you, that's another reason why that solitude, that meditation, that intentional solitude that we're talking about here is super important. And with all the stuff that's going on in the world today, especially in the US, we all need some solitude, and a lot of it consistently, as much as we can get until we figure some things out.
You are not crazy because you prefer to be in isolation from other people. There is nothing wrong with you because you prefer your solitude over being around a bunch of other people. A lot of people, even psychologists and psychiatrists, will tell you that it's not normal or it's not healthy to be in isolation. It's not the right thing to do, to be away from people. We're social creatures and we need to be around each other and we need each other, right? They will tell you this about what's normal for the average person. But the average person is codependent. The average person is afraid of being alone, dying alone. The average person cares too much what people think. The average person is, in most cases, some kind of a emotional wreck, right? The average person is afraid of their own goddamn shadow. The average person, the average person, the average person. But as introverts, we're not average people, are we? See, people like introverted people, we actually thrive in solitude. We're happier, we're more at peace, right? We thrive in isolation. And don't ever let anybody make you feel like you're weird or crazy because you prefer your own company. A lot of these average people, they don't even enjoy their own company. There's a lot of women out there, especially, I feel like if they knew that they couldn't be around friends or they couldn't have a man, I think a lot of them would probably take their own lives because that's how codependent the average person is. Take me for an example. I can't stand being around people, like 95% of the time. I'm a very sociable person. Most people, when I tell them I'm an introvert, like 99% of those people don't even fucking believe me because I'm very social. I laugh, I joke with people. I can be having the time of my life, but I am always looking for an exit. I am always looking for an escape hatch. No matter where I'm at or what I'm doing, I am always ready to get back home. Why? My home is my sanctuary. My home is peaceful. I love being at home. I love being at home. It's quiet, clean, it smells great. I don't have to worry about noise if I don't want to. I don't have to deal with anything. Even when I'm riding in my car, I can't stand for people to ride with me in my car. Why? Because people are going to want to talk to me when I'm in my car. And I'm just going to want to listen to my music. Like, you're literally killing my vibe. And then on top of that, I may feel like, I don't know, blasting Matchbox 20, right? Or Britney Spears or Shania Twain. I might be in the mood to listen to Shania Twain and Faith Hill, you know, some country music this week. You know what I mean? And not only that, I may feel like listening to any of those artists on repeat for like 10 cycles. If you got people in the car with you, they're like, oh my God, change this song. You ain't tired of this song yet? No, actually, I'm not. I'm actually tired of you. And people don't realize, and a lot of people have come to find out the hard way.
Man, she is really tapping into it. I thought I was the only one like that. Like, I would prefer a road trip on my own just because I can vibe out how I like to, listen to what I like to. Don't have to worry about accommodating your passengers or what they want to listen to. Like, I know that can sound selfish, but sister dropping some real talk right there.
Just how disposable you are in my life. It's much easier for me to get rid of you than it is for me to get rid of like my NSYNC playlist, right? I'm not turning off NSYNC if I don't want to, right? So when you're dealing with people, my whole thing is they're annoying. As an introvert, we're drained by people. People's appearance, their shadow drains the entire F out of us a lot of times. We need to get away so that we can recharge our batteries. That's how introverts work. It just started raining, so that's what the noise is in the background, right? But I'm here to speak for introverted people. There's nothing wrong with you because you're not like the average person. I would argue it's better to not fit in. It is better to be who you are. I will get rid of people. If you don't accept me for who I am, what I like, what I don't like, you're disposable. And I hate to say that as from a human being to another human. It's kind of disgusting to say that, but facts are facts when you're dealing with a person like me. Like, bye. This is what I like. I like my peace. I like my solitude. And you being here, just seeing your shadow, is disrupting my peace 9 times out of 10. And it doesn't matter if you are a man, if you are a friend, if you are family. I don't need no man. I don't need to be around friends, and I don't need to be around. I can't stand. I borderline hate, and I don't hate anything. I borderline hate being around people that much. When it's time for me to cut ties with people, it is so easy for me to do. When I wake up and I say, yeah, I think I'm going to be done talking to this person, or I'm going to be done being friends with that person. They've done things to push me to that point, I can assure you. But it's just not hard for me to stay away from people because that's who I am at my core. So I'm speaking out for all the introverts out there, especially introverted women, where people try to make you feel like something's wrong with you and you need to see a therapist and you need to heal and you need to do all this stuff because you can't stand being around people or because you enjoy your own company. Listen, people who enjoy their own company, we don't get lonely. Only people who are codependent and who don't enjoy their own company get lonely. If you don't believe that, it's because you're somebody who's codependent. People who know that's true, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
It takes a very self-aware person, a person that is evolved in many ways, to understand this very simple Sesame Street language. We don't get lonely. It doesn't work that way with people who are introverted. It just doesn't. I don't know another way to describe this, right? I don't even understand how, if you came into this world by yourself and you're leaving by yourself, how you don't enjoy being with yourself. Like, you feel like you're alone, even though you're with yourself. Like, as if you're not a person. You're somebody. Like, you are a person. How are you not comfortable in enjoying your own company? But I think that's something that people don't think about. And I encourage the rest of y'all, the non-introverts, the extroverted people, I encourage you guys to, y'all need to heal or get to know yourselves a little better or whatever, right? I encourage you guys to look into this and figure out what you need to do moving forward, right? Get on our level. Because actually the people who actually are the problem, in my opinion, are y'all, the ones who can't be alone. Those are my thoughts for today, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.
Hey, what y'all think about that? Do y'all agree? Like, since we're talking about solitude on a much deeper level, she tapped into that whole thing I said about being okay being by yourself. Like, that's a strength. The ability to be alone and be in peace and good company with yourself, I think is a strength. And I think it gives rise to the rest of the strengths in our lives.
Solitude is a huge component in self-evolution. When you want to evolve, or you are evolving, regardless if you want to or not, like someone like myself, who is developing clairvoyant abilities by the age of 20, because that's my genetic disposition as a Caribbean person, just comes to you. It comes to you, and you have to accept it. It says in many books, many esoteric spiritual books, that it's going to come to a point where you're not going to relate to people anymore, and people are not going to relate to you. And the things that you used to share your time with, or anything, whether it be the parties, girl, the men I was with, the friends I used to be friends with, they didn't relate to it no more. So there was a time where I had to have solitude and force myself into solitude because I wasn't trying to play myself. If something wasn't right for me, I couldn't force myself in it. My body was rejecting it, my mind was rejecting it, my spirit was rejecting it. So I had to be alone. And then I accepted it. And I was like, okay.
That's it for this one, guys. Hey, if any of that resonated with you, tap that like. Let me know that it's resonating with you. Solitude is a subject I can even just talk about a lot, talk about it all day. If any of those messages from those creators resonated, like I always do, encourage my followers to go and check them out. And I hope you enjoy some of these nuggets. I hope they resonated with you. And if you haven't been getting into your solitude lately, build some time out for that. Make some time for that into your day. Make some time for that into your week. Make some time for that into your life. And thank you for tuning in to the Warrior Metaphysic. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.